To review this problem you just got done doing regarding the 92 resorts having spas, fitness centers, and children's clubs or combinations of them, I'm going to show you how to go through this problem and to set up a Venn diagram to help you answer the questions a lot more easily than trying to figure them out other ways. So as I start into this example, I'm not going to worry about the questions that you're being asked yet. Let's see if we can construct a Venn diagram that accurately depicts this data that we've been given. And this is one of the easier ones because they do give us information for very specific regions of the Venn diagram. So we're going to complete a Venn diagram first, and I'm letting S be standing for the resort has a spa. F is going to stand for the resort having a fitness center, and C is going to stand for a resort having a children's club. And um, the best way to work with these is to work your way from the inside to the outside. The one that has the most overlaps if you have that information first. Secondly, you would look for any information that would just depict one of these specific regions here. Like I wouldn't look for like circle S by itself yet because there's this entire region which includes this part that's only in S, this one that's shared with F, this one that's shared with C, and this one that's shared with F and C. So I look for either things that are depicted with say it's only in this group, which means it would be in the part of the circle that doesn't overlap any other groups, or you want to look for any information that deals with the most overlaps first. And we are starting with the fact that it says 7 had all 3 features. So having all 3 features would be in this region right here. So because of that, I know it's 7. And that's just given it right there. Now I have to make sure I think as I move up this way here. Now I'm going to see where if I have any information, let me see where I have only 2 overlaps. Now, this region here with 3 overlaps, it is in regions where 2 circles overlap each other, or 3 circles for that matter. But I can use this information to figure out some other information. Like for instance, 19 had a fitness center and a children's club. So fitness center and children's club, this total area here should be 19, but we know 7 of it is also being shared with S. So that means that this down here has to be 12. And I did it the same way with the other ones. 10 had a spa and a children's club, so we're looking at these 2 circles. This total overlap here should be 10. And since 7 of it's already in the overlap with all 3 circles, that means 3 is only going to be overlap area of the 2 circles S and C. And 13 had a spa and a fitness center, so looking at circles S and F. Again, this total overlap should be a total of 13. 7 is in the region where all 3 overlap, so that means I should have 6 up here. Now, with this information in place, with these overlaps, I can now answer these questions and say, okay, 27 had a spa, which means that when I look at this circle for representing those that had spas, these 3 regions, along with this region that's just S, should all add up to 27. So, this is 16, which means that 11 out here should be only having a spa. 55 had a fitness center. Well, that's including the 6, 7, and 12 they already have in these regions. So this region out here that's only in F is going to be 30. And very similarly, we know that there's 38 that had a children's club. So these 3 regions, along with this green region that's only in C, should total 38. And for that to happen, that would have to be 16. Now, there's one other region that sometimes students do tend to overlook at times. These, the regions are all representing hotels that have at least one of these features. Things on the outside of any of these all these circles are things that are resorts that didn't have any of these features. And I have to see if there's any of those. I mean, the grand total of resorts that were in this survey were 92. We find out that this in here makes up about 85 of them, which means 7 out here don't have a spa, fitness center, or children's club in them. And now with the completed Venn diagram, now is when you can answer questions, no matter how sophisticated they try to get with them, or whether they use symbols or word descriptions. So the questions you were asked to answer: how many of the resorts surveyed only had a spa? Well, only having a spa is this region that I just got highlighted in yellow here. So that would be 11 of them. How many of the resorts surveyed had exactly one of these features? That means it either had a spa only, it had a fitness center only, or had a children's club only. So we're looking at these three regions combined together, and those three regions combined together would total 57. For number 3, how many of the resorts surveyed had at least one of these features? Well, having at least one of them means it has to be in at least one of these circles. So all of these numbers in here total, the number of resorts that have at least one of these features. Sometimes it's often easier to say, well, I know 7 that didn't have any of them, and so like the way I figured out how to get that 7 was I knew that this sum in here was 85, and that's what the sum is here. It's 85. How many resorts had exactly 2 of these features? That means I'm just looking for the area, the things that have 2 but not all 3. So, this 6, this 3, this 12 has 2 but not 3 of the features basically. And so when I total those up, I get 21. And of course, how many of these resorts surveyed had none of these features? Well, again, that's just this outside region here. And in that outside region, it's 7 of them. That is the end of this video. If you have any further questions, please make sure to reach out and get a hold of me.